So I ended up buying a pair of Salomon RX Mocs, and I thought they were really nice actually as a recovery shoe. And so for me, I was like, they were using more during the summertime because they have a sort of thinner material, and they feel sort of lightweight on foot. So I thought I would give these a try. I got these on sale, which is the Salomon RX Snug in vintage khaki. And so in essence, it's a recovery shoe that is made obviously for sort of working out, or if you're doing sort of outdoor activities, then it's a good shoe for that. And it's quite a sort of basic type of wear, and it's one of those ones where I suppose when I first sort of started wearing the Mocs that I've got, you have sort of these really thin insole. With this one, it's slightly more thicker. It's more of a sort of plasticky one, but underneath you have like the midsole, which has like these kind of tension points, and in these tension points it kind of almost feels like it's massaging your feet. So as you're sort of walking along, these tension points here, they kind of sort of groove into your foot on the underside, and it just feels like it's, like I said, as you're walking along, gives you that sort of massagey feel. And it sort of stopped me from having cramps and a little bit of I suppose tightness around my calf, and it's kind of really helped with that. And it's probably a good one to sort of made for sort of wearing for sort of lifestyle wear. So sort of when you're out and about just doing activities, especially like outdoors, and it sort of helps with, like I said, any kind of tension that you feel on your feet. So with the details, it comes in a vintage khaki, black and Falcon colourway. So as you can sort of see on the sneaker, those colours are obviously represented on here. I think the Falcon colourway is this sort of grey colourway that's on here, and the rest is khaki. And like I said earlier, it's got a flat insole, so there's nothing too special going on in terms of its tech. It's all about the midsole and how that sort of works for your foot. And the midsole is made up of, as far as I can sort of see, it's EVA foam, because it's a bit sort of, as you're sort of touching it, it's got a bit of flex to it. And the upper is made up of a ripstop material and also like a mesh protective material. So, and it's sort of lined as well with more kind of, I suppose, fur, sort of fabricy microfiber type material, which should keep you protected from the elements. I won't say it's completely waterproof, but it seems like it'll keep you warm, but also keep you protected as well. And the price on these were £89. So with the comfort and sizing, these aren't sort of on the soft side, so don't expect that. Like I said, it's basic technology. But what I will say, this one is probably more comfortable than the standard RX Moc in that respect, because of the insole being slightly thicker and made of sort of this plasticky material. And these also have good arch support. I thought that they wouldn't when I first initially started wearing the Mocs, and once you start wearing them, they do feel really sort of nice and sort of neutral on foot at the same time. And there's no wearing time because of the stretchy mesh. You're going to be fine. I think the more you wear them, the more this midsole starts to flex, and then you feel sort of more comfortable in it. And like I said, you get that massagey feel. And you can go true to size on these. They will be a bit tight with this one in particular, because of the fact that you have the lining on the inside. It pushes your foot forward a bit, so I find them to be slightly tighter than the standard RX Moc. So I would maybe look on going half size up. But I think for wide footers and narrow footers, you'll be fine, because there's quite a lot of flex in the upper to allow your feet to be sort of in there. And obviously this is more of a sort of snug-like fit anyway. And the grip on this, as you can sort of see, that's what's, one of the great things about this. It's kind of basic, with this sort of chevron pattern, but it works really, really well. And they're using something called contour grip on here as well, so the rubber on here should work very, very well, and it just seems to do the trick in my eyes. So with the look and style, I do like the simple design, and it's just very basic, but the colours are sort of nice and neutral as well. And you can probably wear this, got like a neutral colour palette, kind of goes with pretty much everything. And it's a good one to wear sort of autumn winter time, because obviously, like I said, the inner lining being protective and just sort of keeping you warm in those sort of colder times. And I think with this one being like this type of footwear, it's a good one to wear sort of casual and smart casual as well, because it almost looks like a shoe. So with the final thoughts, I do like the materials that they use on here, because it's sort of slightly protective, slightly gives that sort of elevated look as well, I guess. And the comfort as well. So like I said, it's not like there's anything special going on in there, but it's just the way the midsole's shaped that you get that kind of massagey feel on your underfoot, on your sole. And because of the way this midsole is working, it kind of almost gives you that bounce back rebound sort of feeling as you're walking along. So similar to like I suppose an Air Max unit or a fuel cell type unit, it kind of pushes your foot forward. And like I said, it's good for sort of recovery, so that's what primarily what they're made for in that terms of use case, and I think they work well for that. In terms of cons, I think the cost is £89. I know they're using some nicer materials on this and slightly warmer. I still think both of them are probably slightly more overpriced for what they are, and should be lower. And this one fits snug, so like I said before, it's one of those things, because they're using thicker materials, I would sort of suggest going up half size, and you can probably see here the inner lining is quite thick. And my other issue with these, is why for me it's not I suppose a go-to, is because of the fact that the heel tab kind of is one of those sort of bad design points where as you're trying to slip your foot in, this sort of caves in, and you kind of have to hold this back with your thumb, which kind of defeats the purpose of having a heel tab. And the original RX Mocs don't have that issue. They kind of seem to be okay because of the heel tab sort of further up, so you can kind of like grab it, put it back and put your foot through, and it seems to work fine. So with the ratings, I give the look and style a 4 out of 5. I think it's a cool looking, recovery mock at the end of the day, and almost sort of looking towards a shoe type look. And the comfort, I'm going to give it a 4, even though it's just sort of basic stuff in there. It just feels nice on foot, and it does what it's supposed to do, like it uses a recovery shoe, and like I said, gives that sort of massagey feeling. And the quality, I'm going to give that a 5. I think they've done a good job with the quality, and they used some nice materials, like I said, did sort of almost sort of microfiber lining, and then the ripstop materials on the outside just gives you that extra bit of sort of water protection. And the pricing, I give that 4. It's probably priced a little bit too high. I think it should be around the £75 mark. And overall, I'll give the sneaker a 4 out of 5. Reason being is if you're looking for a sneaker that is, made for recovery and you kind of want to wear it more in the winter time, then this is perfect. However, what I will say is the only sort of issue with this, with the floor with the heel tabs, so just be wary of that. So when you're putting them on, and if you're in a rush, then obviously this isn't the kind of sneaker that you want to sort of slip on quickly. You're going to have to take a little bit of time to put them on.